Hello everyone, welcome to all in our biology lecture. We studying chapter number first, reproduction in lower and higher plants. In our previous lecture, we studied the types of pollination, self-pollination and cross-pollination. Cross-pollinating plants, they are mainly depend on pollinating agents. Agents which are responsible for pollination are called pollinating agents. Generally, these are two types or we can divide it into two categories. First one is abiotic agents and second is biotic agents. So today we study the pollinating agents with respect to their types, examples. Now let us know about the pollinating agents. Angiosperm pollen cannot move on their own and need external agent to get transferred to the stigma. There are two main groups of agents. The first group is abiotic agents like wind and water, and the second group is biotic agents, which includes animals of different types such as insects, birds, bats, etc. You can see the chart showing the agents of pollination. Then second column shows types of pollination and third column shows example. Now see the first column which showing the agents of pollination. The first group, that is the biotic here, that means the animals involved in pollination, and for that's why we called it zoophily. Then the next group, that is abiotic agents, which includes non-living agents. Now see the second column that showing the types of pollination. Now we see the types of biotic pollination or the biotic agents of pollination. The first is insect. When biotic agent is insect for pollination, that types we called as entomophily. Then second is birds. Birds involved in pollination, that called as ornithophily. The third is when the bats doing the pollination, such a types we called as chiropterophily. Third one. The fourth one is snails. When the snails doing the pollination, that types of pollination we called as malacophily. Fourth one is malacophily. Then the last one in biotic agents, that is the ants. When ants doing the pollination or ants involved in pollination, such a types we called as myrmecophily. Now we move to the abiotic agents of pollination, that having two types of pollination, wind pollination and water pollination. According to that, we called anemophily for wind pollination and water pollination we called hydrophily. So remember these types of pollinations and their agents. Then next column shows the examples of types of pollination. Lotus sunflowers are the examples of insect pollinated plants. Then bottle brush is for bird pollinated plants. Then third one is baobab is for bat pollination. Volupsis is for snail pollination, and the last one, that is the certain orchids are ant pollinated. Now we move the last second group, that is abiotic group of agents which having two types, wind and water. Wind pollination we called as anemophily, water pollination we called as hydrophily. Now grasses are the examples of wind pollinated. Grasses are wind pollinated. And for hydrophily we having two examples, Vallisneria and Zostera. These are the examples of water pollination. So this chart is very important. Most of the objective types of questions will be asked in your exam. Agents of pollination, types of pollination and their example. So remember this chart, that will help for to solve the objective questions which will be asked in your board exam. Now we see each pollinating agents group in detail with respect to their types. The first group is abiotic agents. Abiotic agents, as we know, they are non-living agents that includes wind and water. Pollination by wind is known as anemophily. Remember the term anemophily, that is pollination carried out with the help of wind. इथं लक्षात ठेवा आणि पॉलिनेशन जर विंडद्वारे होत असेल तर त्याला आपण ॲनिमोफिली म्हणणार आहोत. डेफिनेशन महत्त्वाचे आहे. ॲनिमोफिली ऑर विंड पॉलिनेशन इज पॉलिनेशन कॅरीड आउट विथ द हेल्प ऑफ विंड. धिस पॉलिनेशन इज कॉल्ड ॲनिमोफिलस पॉलिनेशन. अशा प्रकारच्या पॉलिनेशनला आपण काय म्हणणार आहोत? ॲनिमोफिलस पॉलिनेशन. अँड द फ्लावर्स विच कॅरी आउट सच टाइप्स ऑफ पॉलिनेशन आर विंड पॉलिनेटिंग फ्लावर्स. ज्या फुलांमध्ये अशा प्रकारे पॉलिनेशन होत असेल, विंडद्वारे पॉलिनेशन होत असेल, तर त्या फुलांना आपण विंड पॉलिनेटिंग फ्लावर्स म्हणणार आहोत. आता अशा फुलांमध्ये म्हणजेच ॲनिमोफिलस फ्लावरमध्ये कोणत्या प्रकारचे बदल होतात का जे विंड पॉलिनेशनसाठी महत्त्वाचे असणार आहेत ते आपल्याला इथं बघायचे. तर ते ॲडॅप्टेशन्स असणार आहेत. आपण इथं काही ॲडॅप्टेशन्स लिहिलेली आहेत स्लाइडवर, ती आपण बघूया. द पहिला ॲडॅप्टेशन बघा. द फ्लावर्स आर स्मॉल, इनकॉन्स्पिक्युअस, कलरलेस, विदाउट नेक्टर अँड फ्रॅग्रन्स ओडर. त्यालाच आपण ओडर म्हणूया. ही फुलं स्मॉल असतात, त्याचबरोबर इनकॉन्स्पिक्युअस असतात, कलरलेस असतात आणि यांच्यामध्ये नेक्टर किंवा कोणत्याही प्रकारचा सुगंध, त्यालाच आपण फ्रॅग्रन्स म्हणूया, तो पाहायला मिळत नाही. The pollen grains are light in weight, dry, produce in large number to increase chance of pollination considering wastage of pollen grains. आता बघा, ह्या ॲनिमोफिलस फ्लावर्स जे असणार आहेत हे लाईट वेटचे पोलन ग्रेन्स, ड्राय असलेली, लार्ज अमाऊंटमध्ये प्रोड्यूस करतात की जेणेकरून पॉलिनेशनचे चान्सेस हे वाढतील. आणि इथं वेस्टेज ऑफ पोलन ग्रेन्ससुद्धा विचारात घेतले जातात. म्हणजे आपण बघितलं तर 1000 आपण जर ॲव्हरेज जर काढलं तर त्याच्यातले किती पोलन ग्रेन स्टिग्मावर जाऊन पडतील हे आपल्याला सांगता येत नाही. आणि म्हणून ते सुद्धा विचारात घेतलं जातं का पॉलिनेशन जर घडवून यायचं असेल विंडद्वारे तर अशा प्लांटमध्ये लार्ज अमाऊंटमध्ये, लार्ज नंबरमध्ये पोलन ग्रेन्स हे प्रोड्यूस केलेले आपल्याला पाहायला मिळतात. स्टिग्मा इज फिदरी टू ट्रॅप पोलन कॅरीड बाय विंड करंट. आता वाऱ्याद्वारे जे काही पोलन ग्रेन्स वाहत येणार आहेत ते पोलन ग्रेन ट्रॅप करण्यासाठी स्टिग्मा फिदरी असलेला आपल्याला पाहायला मिळतो, पंखांसारखा असलेला पाहायला मिळतो. स्टॅमेन्स आर एक्झर्टेड विथ लॉंग फिलामेंट्स अँड व्हर्सटाईल अँथर. स्टॅमेन्स हे एक्झर्टेड असतात म्हणजे बाहेर आपल्याला ते आलेले पाहायला मिळतात करोलामधून. फिलामेंट लॉंग असतो आणि अँथर जे असतात हे व्हर्सटाईल म्हणजे हवेबरोबर ते मूव्ह होतात. अँथर हे स्टॅमेन्सला चिटकलेले असलेले आपल्याला पाहायला मिळतात. दे कॅन मूव्ह थ्रू विंड करंट. विंड करंट बरोबर ते आपल्याला मूव्ह होताना आपल्याला पाहायला मिळतात ड्यू टू देअर व्हर्सटाईल अटॅचमेंट. स्टॅमेन्स अँड स्टिग्मा आर एक्सपोज टू दी एअर करंट. स्टॅमेन्स आणि स्टिग्मा, स्टॅमेन प्रोड्यूस पोलन ग्रेन्स अँड स्टिग्मा दॅट कॅच दी पोलन ग्रेन्स. हे दोन्ही महत्त्वाचे पार्ट आहेत. स्टॅमेन्स मेन पार्ट आहे तर स्टिग्मेन हा फिमेल रिप्रोडक्टिव्ह पार्ट आहे. स्टाईल, स्टिग्मा, ओव्हरी. त्यामुळे हे दोन्हीही पार्ट आपल्याला एअरमध्ये एक्सपोज झालेले पाहायला मिळतात. म्हणजे ते आपल्याला हवेमध्ये उघडे असलेले आपल्याला पाहायला मिळतात का जेणेकरून पोलन ग्रेन स्टॅमेनमधून रिलीज झाल्यानंतर ते स्टिग्मावर जाऊन विंडच्या साहाय्याने स्टिग्मावर जातील. फॉर एक्झाम्पल मेज, ग्रासेस एक्सेट्रा. याचे उदाहरणं जर घेतले आपण ॲनिमोफिलीची तर मेज आहे, त्याचबरोबर ग्रासेस आहेत का ज्यांच्यामध्ये आपल्याला अशा प्रकारचं पॉलिनेशन होताना पाहायला मिळतं. ठीक आहे, दॅट इज अबाउट दी ॲनिमोफिली पॉलिनेशन. ॲनिमोफिली पॉलिनेशन. Now the next abiotic agents of pollination is water. The pollination by water is generally known as hydrophily. It found in some 30 genera of aquatic monocots. For example, Vallisneria, Zostera, Ceratophyllum, etc. आता आपण इथं नेक्स्ट टाईप जो आहे अबायोटिक एजंटचा तो आहे वॉटर. वॉटर थ्रू जर पॉलिनेशन होत असेल तर तो पॉलिनेशनचा टाईप असेल हायड्रोफिली. ॲडॅप्टेशन इन हायड्रोफिलस फ्लावर्स. आता ह्या हायड्रोफिलस फ्लावर्स, हायड्रो मीन्स water, water philus means loving, so it is a water loving plants and that means these plants are aquatic one. Okay, now what types of adaptations you can found in hydrophilus flower. Hydrophilus flower म्हणजे कोणते फ्लावर, ज्या फुलांमध्ये वॉटरद्वारे पॉलिनेशन होत असेल अशा फ्लावरला आपण हायड्रोफिलस फ्लावर म्हणणार आहोत. आणि हे होण्यासाठी त्या फुलामध्ये जे काय बदल झालेले आहेत, जे काय अडॅप्टेशन झालेले आहेत ते आपल्याला इथे बघायचे आहेत. पहिला अडॅप्टेशन आहे फ्लावर्स आर स्मॉल अँड इनकॉन्स्पिक्युअस. फ्लावर कसे असतात, छोटे असतात आणि इनकॉन्स्पिक्युअस असतात, म्हणजे आकर्षक नसतात, ते सहजासहजी आपलं लक्ष वेधून घेणार नाही, किंवा अदर जे इन्सेक्ट असतील किंवा पॉलिनेटिंग एजंट असेल त्यांना आकर्षित करू शकत नाही किंवा करणारे नसणार आहेत ते. नेक्स्ट अडॅप्टेशन इज पेरियांथ अँड अदर फ्लोरल पार्ट्स आर अनवेटेबल. पेरियांथ अँड अदर फ्लोरल पार्ट्स आर अनवेटेबल, जे ओले होणार नाहीत. अनवेटेबल म्हणजे ओले न होणारे. ओके. पोलन ग्रेन्स आर लॉंग अँड अनवेटेबल ड्यू टू प्रेझेन्स ऑफ म्युसिलस. पोलन ग्रेन्स अतिशय महत्त्वाचे असणार आहेत. यांची लेंथ जी आहे ही जास्त असणार आहे. दे आर लॉंग इन लेंथ अँड अनवेटेबल. अनवेटेबल कशामुळे असणार आहेत, ड्यू टू दी प्रेझेन्स ऑफ म्युसिलेज. म्युसिलेज लेअर त्याच्या भोवती असल्यामुळं ते अनवेटेबल होतात. नेक्स्ट ॲडॅप्टेशन इज नेक्टर अँड फ्रॅग्रन्स आर लॅकिंग इन फ्लावर. या फुलांमध्ये नेक्टर आणि सुवास, फ्रॅग्रन्स म्हणजे सुवास किंवा आपण वास आपण ज्याला म्हणूया, तो नसतो. यांना नेक्टर आणि फ्रॅग्रन्स यांच्यामध्ये ॲबसेंट असतात किंवा ते त्यांच्यामध्ये प्रेझेंट नसतात. असे हे फ्लावर्स किंवा असे जे ॲडॅप्टेशन जे आहेत हे हायड्रोफिलस फ्लावर्समध्ये होताना आपल्याला पाहायला मिळतात, जेणेकरून ते वॉटर पॉलिनेशनसाठी किंवा आपण हायड्रोफिलीसाठी फेवरेबल असतील. आपण पुढचा टाईप बघूया. Now we see hydrophily types. Generally, hydrophily is of two types. The first type is hypohydrophily. Hypo means below. The pollination occurs below the surface of water, and that's pollination we called as hypohydrophily. Here, the pollen grains are heavier than water, sink down and caught by stigmas of female flower which are present inside the water. So the characteristics of these plants, hypohydrophilous plants, flower, pollen grains are heavier than water, sink down and caught by the stigma of female flower. For example, in Zostera, Zostera is known as seagrass. The pollen grains are long, ribbon-like and without exant. These are the characteristics of Zostera pollen grains, which helps for hypohydrophily or hypohydrophily pollination. The next type is epihydrophily. The pollen grains float on the surface of water and reach the stigma of female flower. Pollen grains float on the water surface and reach the stigma of female flower. For example, Vallisneria is a submerged dioecious aquatic plant. Vallisneria is a submerged dioecious freshwater aquatic plant. Dioecious means the plant having two different sexes, or two male plant and female plant is separated. Male plant produces male flower and female plant produces female flower. So see, in Vallisneria that shows epihydrophily, female flowers reach the water surface temporarily to ensure pollination. That means at the time of pollination, female flower reach the water surface and male flower float on the surface of water. Male flower float on the water surface. The next important point of Vallisneria, epihydrophily. flower is specific gravity of pollen grain is equal to that of water. Specific gravity of pollen grain is equal to that of water, and that is why they float on the surface of water. Remember why Vallisneria pollen grains float on water surface. The answer is specific gravity of pollen grain is equal to that of water, and that is why they float on surface of water. You can see the photograph of Vallisneria that shows male and female plants. Male flowers shows inside the water, and female flowers they float on the water surface. Okay. Next type of pollinating agent is biotic agents. It includes living agents, living things. About 80% of plants require the help of other living, moving creatures such as insects, birds, bats, snails to transfer their pollen from one flower to another. These also sustain our ecosystem and produce natural resources by helping plants to reproduce. The first type of biotic agent is pollination by insects. It is known as entomophily. Pollination by insects, it is known as entomophily. Like water, we call it as hydrophily. Here, the pollination done through with the help of insect, it is known as entomophily. It occurs in rose, jasmine, and sistrum, etc. Now, what kinds of adaptations you can see in entomophilous flower? The first adaptation is they are large, showy, and often brightly colored. Remember, the entomophilous flowers are large, showy, and often brightly colored. That means they are attractive one, that they can attract the insects for pollination, and that's why they are large, showy, easily observable or easily gettable, and bright in color. Bright in color means they are dark in color other than white. They are red, then yellow, and these are the dark color, bright colored, which can attract the insects. The flowers produce sweet odor, that means smell, and have nectar glands. We know that these flowers produce sweet odors that can attract the insects and have nectar glands that have nectar glands. Honeybees, they can collect the honey or nectars from these glands, nectar glands. The stigma is rough due to presence of hair. The stigma of these flowers is rough due to the presence of hair, or is sticky due to mucilaginous secretion. This is an important adaptation. When these pollinating agents move from one flower to another flower, they carry the pollen grain which stick to their body of the insects. When they sit down on stigma, that pollen grains is stick due to the mucilaginous secretion, and that's why the stigma of this flower is sticky one. The pollen grains are spiny and surrounded by a yellow sticky substance called pollen kit. Pollen grains are spiny and surrounded by the yellow sticky substance. Why yellow sticky substance? Because such a pollen grains that can stick the or to stick the insect's body, and that's why pollen grains are spiny and surrounded by yellow sticky substance. This yellow substance is known as pollen kit. Due to stickiness, pollen grain easily carry by these pollinating agent to another flower stigma. Some plants have special adaptations for the insects visitors to help in cross pollination. For example, lever mechanism or turnpike mechanism in salvia. These are an important adaptations or special adaptations for the insect visitors. Lever mechanism or turnpike mechanism is a type of mechanism that can help for visitors to visit the flowers for cross pollination. Visit the flowers to help in cross pollination. Remember all these biotic agents that can help for cross pollination. Now the next biotic agent, that is birds. Pollination by birds are known as ornithophilia. The term ornithophilia is used for pollination by birds. Only a few types of birds are specialized for pollination. They usually have small size and long beaks. These are the characteristics of these birds. For example, sunbirds and hummingbirds. You can see these birds in photographs that can visit the different flowers and doing the pollination. Some ornithophilous plants are bombax, callistemon, that is bottlebrush, and butea, etc. The adaptation in ornithophilous flowers are usually brightly colored, large and showy. Remember, this adaptation is important for ornithophilous flower. Flowers are usually brightly colored, large and showy. They secrete profuse dilute nectar. They secrete profuse dilute nectar. Pollen grains are sticky and spiny. They can stick the beak of these birds, and when visit the other flowers, such a pollen grain is transferred to the stigma of that flowers and doing the pollination. Flowers are generally without fragrance as birds have poor sense of smell. The question will be asked, why the ornithophilous flower without fragrance? The answer is, the birds have poor sense of smell, and that's why flowers are generally without fragrance. Now the next biotic agents are bats. Pollination by bats is generally known as chiropterophily. Chiropterophily is the term used for pollination doing by bats. Bats can transport pollen over long distance and sometimes several kilometers. Adaptation in chiropterophilous flowers are dull colored with strong fragrance. That flowers are not attractive one due to the dull colored, but having a strong fragrance. They secrete abundant nectar. They secrete abundant nectar. Flower produce large amount of edible pollen grains. Flower produce large amount of edible pollen grains. For example, Anthocephalus tree, which is known as Kadam tree. Anthocephalus is the genus. Then Adansonia, which is known as baobab tree. Adansonia, which is known as baobab tree. Kygelia, that is known as sausage tree. Sausage tree, known as the genus of this tree, Kygelia. You can see the photographs. In that photographs, you can see the bats, how they visit the flowers and doing the pollination. The pollen grains they carry from one flower to another flower over several kilometers. Long distance pollination is doing by these bats.